Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's having a GGD, a great green day in the market. You know I always wish the best for my viewers and subscribers. So guys, today we're going to go over the overall portfolio value, the performance, the buying power, how the individual stocks are performing, and my watch list. And I have gotten a couple questions about why I'm going to put Berkshire in the portfolio and why I added Google, and I will be talking about that in depth today. But jumping into the portfolio metrics, today we are down $580, and I get questions about this a lot, so I just want to address it. Guys, I know it's difficult sometimes to look at a loss in the stock market and not get freaked out about it. It's scary to lose some cash, right? It's scary to lose money. But the real weapon that you have is how you think about the market, the psychology behind your investment strategy, and being able to do the opposite of what most investors do. So guys, when I see a $600 loss in my portfolio, I'm not freaking out today, right? I'm not going to go sell out all my positions. I'm not going to zero out the portfolio. I'm not worried about it, simply because I understand how to make money in the stock market. You don't make money by selling at a loss. You only make money by buying quality at prices that are below intrinsic value and then letting them grow. You're never going to get a good return on a stock that you sell at a loss. You're guaranteed to lose selling at a loss. I know that sounds stupid. Buy low, sell high, right? But psychologically, most people do the wrong thing. And it's very hard when you're first starting out. You know, when you have $100, say in the market, say you put $100 into the S&P 500 and it drops 50%, you have $50 in, you've lost $50, you're freaking out, right? But the more time you spend in the market, you understand fluctuation or red days are what you want. And I know that sounds weird because on paper I've lost $500, right? So I should be freaking out. But one of the things I have a lot of friends that invest too, and one of the things that we always discuss is you need to look at your portfolio how you would look at anything else in life, okay? You need to look at your portfolio as if it was a product. So say I want to go buy an iPhone, right? Say they're an iPhone 16, right? And I go into the Apple store and they tell me, okay, we'll sell this to you for $1,500. And I say, well, you know, I don't get paid until Friday, and I'll see, I'll see how I feel about that price then, right? Say you don't have the cash on you, not a big deal. And then you go back on Friday, say, you know, your check hits your account at, midnight the night before, and you go into the Apple store and you're like, I was looking at the new Apple iPhone, and you guys said it was $1,500. I'm comfortable with that price. And let's say, wait, we actually have a deal going on today. It's a Black Friday sale for just today, and this phone, instead of $1,500, we're going to sell it to you for $1,000. You're still going to pay $1,000 for the phone, but if you were comfortable with $1,500 at buying it at that price, $1,000 would be a steal to you. You wouldn't be mad. You wouldn't freak out. You wouldn't get angry about a product going down in price 50% if you're willing to buy it. You need to look at the stock market the exact same way. If you own a company and you think it's worth $160 intrinsically due to the cash flows that it produces, and it sells for $140, you'd be a fool not to buy it. And then the thing is, your overall return due to your cost basis going down would go up because it has further decline. Plus, the dividend yield would be higher. So let's say, you buy the stock and its dividend is 2%, drops by 30%, and now it's, 4.5%, or, however that correlates. You're making more money, not only because you bought it at a lower price so it can grow more, but that dividend yield, the money that you make passively, goes up as well. So stocks going down is actually a good thing, and it takes a little while of you being in the market for you to get comfortable with that type of psychology, because instinctually we are afraid to lose money. Instinctually we are programmed to sell at a loss, and it takes a while to get used to that psychology. But once you understand that the lower it goes, if you purchase it at a lower price, you make more money. So with that being said, guys, I'm not worried about a $580 loss, but we are down about 1.1% today. Next, for that 1 week mark, we are down $670, down 1.3%. and I'm not worried about that either. Then we are up $927 for that 1 month mark, and that's great to be in the green. I mean, I don't mind it, but I would actually prefer a loss. Then at that 3 month mark, we are up around $2,900 with a 6% rate of return for the past 3 months. Then we are up $2,660, up 5.34% year to date. Then we are up $2,200. We have a 4.3% rate of return for that 1 year mark. And then all time we are up $17,143. We have around a 48.5% return all time. So guys, as you can see, you're always going to have market fluctuation, right? If you look at the portfolio within the past 1 to 3 months, we barely made any money. You know, we're at a loss on 2 of those metrics. I don't care what the portfolio does, even year to date or for the past year. I don't care. I care about my all-time return. I care about how I'm performing overall. And since I've invested for like 4.5 to 5 years, I've been making about 10% a year, which is the market average. So I'm matching the market, which is I want to beat the market, but that's really hard to do consistently. So I'm okay with a market matching return. And of course, that's not even the goal of the portfolio. That's just, something extra. I'm working on building my passive income through dividend growth investing. So I don't even care if the overall portfolio value goes up or down. That's cool to see it go up, and I like that when it goes down, I can buy more shares. But my goal is building my passive income. So either way, I'm winning. Then, of course, we're gonna jump into the individual holdings. Realty income sitting at $52.68, 170 shares, around $9,000 worth of market value. Average cost is $65.03. 17% of the portfolio is in realty income. Today we're down $33. Total we're down $2,100. We are down a solid 19%. So a great buying opportunity here for realty income. And of course, we do have that dividend coming in on April 15th. It always gets paid the 15th of the month, which is really nice. $43.69, so a nice, near $44 dividend every single month coming in from realty income. So when it comes to where I'm planning on reinvesting the dividends I get paid this month and into April, right now, realty income would be the best position to be putting money back into. I am actually looking to buy some Visa instead, just simply because I want to own the stock, and I think it will be a great growth driver and a great, of course, dividend compounder. But logically, this is the best place to put my money. And of course, I don't get paid that dividend until April 30th, so realty income could go up and might not be as good of a buy at that point. But as of right now, the best place to put the money within the portfolio is realty income. Next, we've got Altria sitting at $42.30. We've got 320 shares, $13,000 worth of market value. Average cost is $47.27. 25% of the portfolio is in Altria. Today we're down $200, about 1.5%. Total we're down $1,500. We have about 10.5% loss, nearly 11% loss here on Altria, with a dividend coming in, as I said, on April 30th of $313.60. So $313.60, the biggest dividend of the entire portfolio. This is the biggest cash flow generator when it comes to dividends in the entire portfolio on a yearly basis as well. So both realty income and Altria are great buying opportunities right now for me personally. But I don't know if I want to purchase more of realty income given how big it is of a position. And considering that realty income is a better buy, according to my average cost right now, I would rather put that money into realty income. But I'm not opposed to buying more Altria at this price. Then we've got Coca-Cola sitting around about $59.86, so about $60 a share. We've got 15 shares, around $900 of market value. Average cost is $60.54. 1.71% of the portfolio is in Coca-Cola. Today we're down $4. Total we're down $10, down 1% on Coca-Cola. Now guys, just as I said, it is a buying opportunity in Coca-Cola just as it is in Altria and in realty income. But I would want a larger downturn in Coca-Cola, but I'm not opposed to adding shares at these prices. Then we've got Google. So we've got one share, so market value is the stock at the price of 156.24. Average cost is 155.47. 0.3% of the portfolios on Google. Today we're up 40 cents. Total, we're up around 80 cents, up about 0.5%. Guys, I have been getting a lot of questions about Google and why I put money into it, as well as Berkshire. Now, I am well aware that Google and Berkshire do not pay dividends. That's okay. Guys, I'm 28 years old. I'm not going to retire for another 40 years. And I have done my analysis on Google. I've done a deep dive analysis on Berkshire Hathaway. And these are two stocks that, even though they don't pay dividends, I think they're high enough quality, generate enough cash flow, and I have enough confidence in their management that I'm willing to overlook the dividend. Right? I am a dividend growth investor, but that does not mean that I am opposed to quality companies that don't pay dividends. It's very short-sighted and dumb to not pay attention to companies that you have an emotional connection with and that you want to own simply based upon the fact that they don't pay dividends. Google could pay a dividend in the future. You never know. Berkshire, I doubt, because Buffett doesn't want to, and I don't think his lieutenants do either, but the potential is still there. And just because it doesn't pay a dividend does not mean it's a great company. If you look at some of the best growers in history, they don't pay a dividend. Like Facebook just started paying a dividend. It's grown for over 20 years, or around 20 years. Netflix does not pay a dividend. It's a great growth stock. Tesla does not pay a dividend. Microsoft didn't for a long time. Apple didn't for a pretty long time. And these are quality compounding stocks. And a lot of a lot of great companies do pay dividends and they grow them. And that's great. That's great to give cash flow to your shareholders. But some companies do buybacks, and that's just as powerful in a different way. It benefits you differently because a dividend is a cash distribution of those profits, and the share buybacks are a way to intrinsically boost your value based upon the amount of shares outstanding. They buy another share, or they buy 10,000 shares, whatever the count is. The overall share count goes down, so your overall ownership in the business goes up naturally just due to that buying of outstanding shares. So I just want to own Google because I use Facebook. I use Facebook every day too, but I use Google products every day, right? I search in Google all the time. I love YouTube. YouTube TV is great. And I post YouTube videos, so I might as well own a little bit of what I'm funding by putting videos up. Next, we've got Apple. Now, this is my single favorite company, aside from Coca-Cola. They're very close. I love Coca-Cola's product, but Apple, I think, is going to be my biggest winner in the portfolio. So it's sitting at $170 right now. Only one share, $170.27 is the market value. Average cost is around $133 a share. 0.33% of the portfolio is in Apple. Today we are up $1.42. Total, we're up $37.60, up 30% on Apple. And guys, this will be the single biggest position in the portfolio. It will take time, not only because it is such a quality company that it doesn't go down in stock price that often, but I'm up so high on the stock right now with just a single share that it will take a while for it to drop down to my average cost. That's okay. The opportunity will come in time. I'm not worried about it. Right now I'm paying off, debt from a cruise, so I'm not going to be putting a lot of new physical cash into the portfolio. I'm using dividend income to do that. But I feel like Apple deserves to be the biggest position. I want it to go Apple, Visa, and Coca-Cola as the top three positions. And then, of course, I either want it to be Google or Berkshire to be in that 4 and 5 spot. And, it'll take a while. The companies that I own are high quality. They've grown dividends. They've grown over time, most of them. Some of them haven't. But they still generate great cash flow to allow me to reinvest into the portfolio without having to throw new cash into it. So, I love Apple. I'm reading the Steve Jobs autobiography by Walter Isaacson, and I love the story. I've watched the Steve Jobs movie with Ashton Kutcher multiple times. It's one of those companies that's a no-brainer. I was dumb to not own it for as long as I avoided it. So I want to own a lot more, and I'm willing to wait until the price drops down to what I believe is below intrinsic value for Apple. Next up, we've got T. Rowe Price. So this is kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum from an AbbVie or from an Apple. So T. Rowe Price is an asset manager. I love the management. Think they have a great mind for reinvesting back into the business and not doing stupid acquisitions. They're very lean when it comes to how they allocate their capital, and I love that. So I've done a deep dive on T. Rowe Price a couple times, just privately off camera, and I love the business, love the economics, and I feel like I understand it well enough to know when and when not to put money into it. So I have 100 shares at $11,000 of market value. Average cost is right around $110 per share. 22% of the portfolio is in T. Rowe Price. Today we're down $28. Total, we are up around 850 with a around 8% return here on T. Rowe Price. Guys, this is one of those companies that I feel like is unfairly valued right now and got hit just due to outside BS because the overall economy has been fluctuating. There's been a lot of bad news in the past couple of years, and it's really affected asset managers like T. Rowe Price. This stock was valued at over about $220, in 2021. Here we are a few years later, and it's at 118. So, the past year, it's been up. Past 5 years, it's had a 16% rate of return. So, even over the past 5 years, it's been okay, but I still think it could get to those peaks, and I'm okay reinvesting as long as it stays below my average cost. So right now, I'm up still, even though the stock price may have been kind of flat over the past year. But I'm excited to reinvest these dividends, and even though I won't be able to put it into T. Rowe Price, I can still put it into other opportunities like we saw with Realty Income and Altria. And I do think that I could have a 50% plus return, including dividends on T. Rowe Price. Next, we got Visa. So guys, this is one of those no-duh companies I put in the same vein as Apple, just for the fact that it's a quality company with a huge moat. It's a biggest payment processor in the world. It's a world recognized brand, and I love the company. I used it to buy my Taco Bell and my Mountain Dew today. So, I use Visa cards. Odds are you probably do too. There's probably a couple. The big three are Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. I have nothing against MasterCard or American Express, but I just prefer Visa because I personally use it. So this is one of those that is a no-duh investment for me. I've been dumb for not owning it, and I plan on changing that come April when the dividends that I accumulate will hopefully, depending on the stock price, be able to purchase myself a single share of Visa. So that should be getting added before the end, right around the end of April. And that is that will be the last payer for quote-unquote dividends. So then, of course, we have my growth side of the portfolio, which includes Google. First, we got Berkshire Hathaway. So, guys, this is one of my personal favorite stocks, going to be in the top 5 foundational for me. Personally, they just own so many businesses, it's really hard to, go through them all. They have I think it's over 100 businesses internally through Berkshire, as well as they have a huge stock market portfolio. I think of them like I think of T. Rowe Price. They use the profits from their businesses that they generate to reinvest back into the businesses, and they use the excess capital to buy more businesses and keep growing overall for the company. But the big weapon that they have for growth is their insurance float. Most years they break even, which means they get a free X amount of dollars based upon the total amount they get paid in for their insurance claims. Last year, I think it was like $40 billion, I want to say. They make a lot of money in insurance flow. It's probably higher than that, actually. But they generate a lot of free cash flow through insurance. Plus, they own Sears Candy, which is my favorite candy company, favorite candy I've ever tried. They own Geico, they own Westco, they own National Indemnity. Like I said, they own Sears Candy. They have so many companies, as well as they have a huge position in Apple and Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, Chevron, Moody's. They have a lot of very high quality businesses that they own, and I want a piece of that. I love Berkshire Hathaway, and it's just one of those that I should have owned, just like I said with Apple and Visa. This is a no-brainer investment, and I should just buy it. The only reason I haven't is because I don't have $420 of free cash on me currently. So I will be owning it, and I do want it to be in that 4th or 5th spot, depending on how the stock, grows over time. But it will be in one of those top 5 positions for me. And then there's Meta. So guys, I like Facebook. I use it all the time. I use Instagram. The only reason that I was hesitant at buying Meta is simply because I didn't know how strong of a competitive advantage they really had when it comes to social media. But I think they have a very similar moat to YouTube. They have a huge user base that they advertise to. The users make content for Facebook. Facebook doesn't have to pay for any content on the platform. And they have a lot of optimization that they could still do to bring in more profits for the company. So I think there's a lot of unused potential there that they could decide to, flip the light switch and make more money. So I do want to own it. I just want to own it at a lower price. I'm not opposed to, with like Berkshire, just like with Berkshire and Google at this point, just buying a single share and cost down averaging as I can. It's going to be a little bit different than the Apple approach, simply because I want to be smart about where I buy my Apple, because I want to be able to do something like an AbbVie move for it instead of just randomly buying shares. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to own a couple stocks that don't pay dividends, simply because I'm 28 years old, almost 29. I've got like 40 years of investing ahead of me before I'm in the retirement age. I think with consistent dividend reinvestment and cash injections that I put into the portfolio, I'll be able to retire possibly before that. But I'm a very long-term focused investor, right? I think long-term. And in the next maybe year or two, the Google or Meta or some of these other companies might drop, and I'll be able to buy them. If not, and they keep rising and the dividends keep growing, that's going to benefit me too. So I just want a little bit more exposure to technology. Apple will always, as long as they stay smart about their cash flows and product launches, I'm not going to be worried about Apple at all. I'm not going to be worried about the stocks in the portfolio. The only way that I would sell something is if the overall quality of the business dropped or they cut the dividend substantially. So, but I do want a little bit more exposure to tech. So that's why I bought Google. That's why I'm going to buy Meta as well. And I want to own Berkshire because I've read a bunch of books on how Warren Buffett invests, and I have the utmost confidence in his lieutenants and replacements that they'll be doing the same thing. They might switch up the investment philosophy a little bit, just because, of course, they're not Buffett and Munger, but I do have confidence in them long term. And I've gone to a few Berkshire meetings myself, and it's like an annual thing for me and my family now. So with all that being said, guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos. Remember, even though it might be a red day, you still have deals within the portfolio, and there's always a reason to smile when you're investing. Any dollar that you invest could change your life. Any consistency with investing can really have life-changing effects, because, when I first started, everybody told me I was dumb. Everybody laughed at me. Everybody said, it's $100. What's it going to do? Just like with that Coca-Cola dividend a few days ago, it's $7. Can't even buy, a Coca-Cola product with that amount of money. But eventually, I will be cracking open a Coca-Cola, and I will, technically be I'm paid to purchase it now. So same thing with Apple. If I get a new iPhone or a pair of AirPods or something, I pay myself. And that's really the beauty behind it, is you find quality, you buy quality, and you hold it for life and get paid to own the things that you love. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching, who's checked out the videos, who's left, a thumbs down. Anybody who's interacted with my channel, I really do appreciate that. But I will see you guys tomorrow with another Robinhood portfolio update. Take care, guys.